800,000 miles. One car, 20 years. And the only reason it's still running is 10 habits I never skipped once. An old mechanic told me something early in my career I never forgot. Most cars don't die of old age. They get murdered by their owners without anyone realizing it. He wasn't exaggerating. I've torn down engines at 60,000 miles that looked like they'd been running for 500,000, sludge in every passage, worn surfaces. Components that should have lasted decades were destroyed in years. The same engines I've seen cross 800,000 miles looking almost clean inside. The difference was never the car, it was never the brand, it was 10 habits. Specific, non-negotiable costs, almost nothing. Every high-mileage car I've ever seen had all 10. Every car I've watched die early was missing most of them. Today I'm going through every single one. What each habit protects, what neglecting it actually costs, and exactly how to start today. The last one on this list is the most overlooked habit in automotive maintenance, and the one responsible for more destroyed transmissions than anything else I've seen in 20 years. Let's get into it. Habit 1. Parking brake every single time. Most drivers think putting the gear selector in P is enough. It's not. And the gap between what people think P does and what it actually does has cost more transmission replacements than any other single habit on this list. Here's the reality. P does not lock your wheels. It engages a small metal pin inside the transmission called the parking pawl. That pin, roughly the size of your finger, catches a gear and holds the entire weight of the vehicle in place. On flat ground, that's manageable. On any incline, that pin is absorbing thousands of pounds of load every minute the car sits. Over time, that stress damages the pole, the gear it catches, and the transmission casing around both. By the time you feel it, a clunk when shifting out of park, hesitation engaging drive. The damage is done. Repair bill anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 for not pulling a lever. The parking brake locks the rear wheels mechanically. Zero transmission involvement, zero stress on the pal. Pull it every single time. Flat ground, slight incline, steep hill, every time. P after the parking brake is engaged, never instead of it. I've replaced transmissions on vehicles with 40,000 miles because the owner parked on a slight slope every night for 2 years without the parking brake. $3,000 repair. A free habit that prevents it. Pull the lever first, then P every time. Non-negotiable. Habit 2. Never top off after the pump clicks. This one catches people completely off guard because it feels so harmless. Pump clicks. You squeeze in a little extra, maybe twice, maybe 3 times. Half a pint more fuel, half a pint more value. Completely logical. Completely wrong. Your fuel tank is not designed to be completely full. There's space at the top deliberately, a vapor pocket that connects directly to the EVAP system, evaporative emissions control. That system captures fuel vapors from the tank and routes them into the engine to be burned instead of venting into the atmosphere. The EVAP system is designed exclusively for vapor. The moment you force liquid fuel past the click, that liquid enters hoses, valves, and a charcoal canister built to handle only gas vapor. Liquid fuel saturates the charcoal canister completely. Saturated canisters stop absorbing vapor. Check engine light. EVAP codes. Charcoal canister replacement at $300 to $900, depending on the vehicle. I've seen this repair on vehicles with 20,000 miles. Owner had been topping off since day one. Never connected the habit to the repair bill. The pump clicks for a reason. The float valve in the filler neck triggered because the tank is full. That click is the car, telling you to stop. Stop. Half a pint of extra fuel is worth approximately 75 cents. A charcoal canister replacement is worth $600. The math isn't complicated. Habit 3. Quarter tank minimum. Always. Here's something most drivers never think about. The fuel pump in your car doesn't sit in the engine bay. It sits inside the fuel tank, submerged in gasoline. And that gasoline isn't just fuel. It's coolant for the pump itself. The pump generates heat constantly while running. Fuel flowing around it carries that heat away. As long as the fuel level stays reasonable, the pump runs at safe operating temperatures indefinitely. Drop the level too low and two things happen simultaneously. The pump starts pulling in hot air instead of cool fuel, and it starts drawing sediment that settles at the bottom of the tank, rust particles, debris, contamination that accumulated over years of fill-ups. Hot air overheats the pump motor, sediment clogs the pump strainer, and eventually reaches the injectors. Either failure mode means the same result: fuel pump replacement at $600 to $900. Sometimes injector cleaning or replacement on top of that. I've replaced fuel pumps on vehicles with 50,000 miles because the owner ran on empty constantly. Every single time the cause was the same: heat damage from insufficient fuel level and sediment ingestion from scraping the bottom of the tank. Quarter tank is the minimum. Not the target, the floor. Stay above it permanently. The pump stays cool, the strainer stays clean, the injectors stay clear. Fuel pump on a well-maintained vehicle should last the life of the car. Fuel pump on a vehicle run habitually on empty lasts 50,000 miles if you're lucky. Never run below a quarter, ever. Habit 4. Coolant flush on schedule. Most drivers check the coolant level and stop there. Level looks fine, color looks okay, move on. That's the exact thinking that causes $4,000 head gasket repairs on engines that should have lasted twice as long. Here's what coolant actually does. It carries heat away from the combustion chamber, it prevents freezing in winter, and, critically, it contains corrosion inhibitors that protect every metal surface it touches. Aluminum engine components, radiator tubes, water pump internals, heater core passages. All of them depend on those inhibitors staying active. But inhibitors deplete. Slowly, invisibly, with zero warning symptoms. At full strength, coolant protects aluminum surfaces completely. At 50% strength, it starts allowing microscopic corrosion. At depleted strength, it actively accelerates corrosion, eating through radiator tubes, pitting water pump impellers, attacking aluminum gasket surfaces. The engine looks fine from outside. Inside, the cooling system is slowly destroying itself. By the time symptoms appear, slight overheating, coolant consumption, white exhaust smoke, the head gasket is already compromised. That repair starts at $2,000 and climbs fast depending on what the overheating damage is. The flush costs $60 and 30 minutes every 3 to 5 years. Same coolant the manufacturer specifies, never mix types: green, red, orange, blue. Each formula has specific inhibitor chemistry. Mixing them neutralizes both. I've seen radiators destroyed by mixed coolant that looked perfectly full and perfectly fine from the outside. $60 every 4 years. $2,000 repair it prevents. The schedule isn't optional. Habit 5. Spark plugs before failure. Manufacturers print 100,000-mile spark plug intervals on service schedules for the same reason they print extended oil change intervals. It's the number that gets customers through the warranty period, not the number that protects the engine. In the real world, cold starts, city traffic, varying fuel quality, iridium and platinum plugs start degrading measurably at 60,000 miles. The electrode wears. The gap widens beyond specification. Combustion becomes inconsistent. The engine compensates by injecting more fuel to maintain power output. That compensation is invisible to the driver. Engine feels normal. Fuel economy drops 2 to 3%. Catalytic converter works harder, processing unburned fuel. Over time, that extra load degrades the converter, $800 to $1,200 replacement. Worn plugs also cause intermittent misfires that most drivers attribute to bad fuel or cold weather. Each misfire sends a raw fuel pulse into the exhaust. That pulse ignites in the catalytic converter instead of the combustion chamber. Converter temperatures spike far beyond design limits. Substrate melts, converter fails. All of that from a $60 set of plugs that should have been replaced at 60,000 miles instead of waiting for the 100,000-mile interval. Always OEM spec plugs, NGK, or Denso for Japanese vehicles specifically. Never generic replacements to save $20. I've seen engines damaged by incorrect heat range plugs installed to save $20 on a $60 service. The saving makes no sense against the risk. 60,000 miles. OEM plugs. Before failure, not at failure. Habit 6. Engine mount shake test. This is the check almost nobody does, and the one that prevents a chain of repairs. Most drivers never connect back to a single worn component. Engine mounts do two things. They hold the engine in position and they absorb vibration before it reaches the chassis. When they wear out, the engine moves excessively in the bay under load. That movement stresses every connection point simultaneously. Exhaust flex pipes, radiator hoses, transmission linkage, CV axle boots. All of them designed for minimal movement. All of them taking hits they weren't engineered to handle. I've seen cracked exhaust manifolds, split radiator hoses, and torn CV boots on vehicles where the root cause was mounts worn to the point where the engine was physically contacting the frame under hard acceleration. Owner had no idea. Felt a slight vibration at startup. Turned the radio up. The shake test takes 30 seconds. Engine running, parking brake applied, transmission in drive, never release the brake. Have someone watch the engine from outside while you briefly press the accelerator. Normal movement is minimal, an inch at most. Excessive movement, 2 inches or more, or the engine visibly lurching, means at least one mount is gone. Mounts cost $40 to $120 per corner. Labor is 1 to 2 hours. Caught early, straightforward repair. Ignored for a year, cracked exhaust, torn boots, stressed radiator hoses, and suddenly a $400 mount job becomes a $1,500 repair visit. 30-second test. Do it every 20,000 miles. Habit 7. Undercarriage wash in winter, people. Wax the hood, polish the paint, keep the interior spotless. Then drive through salted winter roads for 5 months and never wash underneath once. Rust doesn't announce itself. It starts on the undercarriage, suspension arms, subframe, brake lines, floor pan. By the time it's visible from outside, it's already structural. I've lifted cars that looked pristine from the street with suspension components so corroded they were unsafe to drive. Owner had no idea. Car looked fine. Road salt accelerates corrosion at a rate that makes normal oxidation look slow. One winter of heavy salt exposure starts a process that doesn't stop without intervention. High-pressure undercarriage wash once a month through winter, twice a month in heavy salt regions. One application of undercarriage rust inhibitor coating per year, $40. That coating adds years to structural components that cost thousands to replace once rust compromises them. What you can't see kills the car. Wash underneath. Habit 8. Strange noise. Identification. Every noise your car makes is a message. The drivers who reach high mileage hear those messages. The drivers who don't turn the radio up. Whistle at startup, belt or tensioner. Addressed early, $60 belt. Ignored, snapped belt, destroyed accessories, potential engine damage. Rhythmic hum that changes with speed, wheel bearing. Addressed early, $150. Ignored until it fails, bearing seizes, potential wheel separation at speed. Ticket idle that disappears when warm, low oil pressure on cold start. Addressed immediately, oil level check, possible pressure issue. Ignored, scored camshaft bearings, $2,000 repair. The pattern matters. When does it happen? Cold only, warm only, turning only, under load only. That information alone narrows the diagnosis before any tool touches the car. A $40 repair becomes a $2,000 repair purely because someone waited 3 months to investigate a noise they heard on day 1. Listen, every time. Habit 9. Brake anticipation. Hard braking is the most expensive driving habit most people never think about as a habit. Every unnecessary hard stop generates heat in the braking system. Heat warps rotors. Heat boils brake fluid. Heat glaze pads. I've seen warped rotors on vehicles with 15,000 miles because the owner drove every road like the stop sign was a surprise. The habit is simple. Lift off the accelerator early. Let the car decelerate naturally. Brakes engage only for the final slowdown. That technique cuts brake system heat dramatically, doubles pad and rotor life, and recovers fuel energy through deceleration instead of wasting it as brake heat. Brake fluid should be flushed every 2 years regardless of mileage. Moisture contamination lowers the boiling point. Boiled fluid means zero braking under hard use. $60 flush, non-negotiable, coast first, brake last. Habit 10. Oil change earlier than manufacturer says. This is the habit that explains 800,000 miles more than anything else on this list. Manufacturers print extended oil change intervals for one reason: lower ownership cost perception during the warranty period. 6,000 miles. 7,500 miles. Some are pushing 10,000. Those intervals keep the car running through 60,000 miles of warranty coverage. After that, not their problem. Real-world oil degradation happens faster than any interval suggests. Short trips that never fully warm the oil. Stop-and-go traffic generates excessive combustion byproducts. Cold starts add moisture and fuel contamination before the operating temperature burns it off. I've cut open oil filters from engines following the manufacturer's intervals. The bypass valve was open, filter so saturated it stopped filtering completely. Engine running on unfiltered oil for the last 2,000 miles of that interval. Every 3,000 miles is conventional. Every 5,000 are full synthetic. Not 7,500, not 10,000, 5,000 maximum. $50 oil changes every 5,000 miles. The engine I'm still driving at 800,000 miles has had that service every single time without exception. That consistency is the answer. Not a secret, not a trick. Just never skip the one service that keeps everything else alive.